Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? Welcome to another edition of the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. My name is TJ Jones. Thanks for checking out the podcast. I really do appreciate it. Well, Who Dat Nation, I know it's been a while since I made one of these videos where it's just my audio, but a couple days ago, I was diagnosed with pneumonia by a doctor, so he thought it would be best for me to try to get as much rest I possibly can, but I still wanted to talk to you all about the New Orleans Saints. Now, we got to talk about the New Orleans Saints Week 7 matchup. The New Orleans Saints go to the historic Soldier Field and they take on the Chicago Bears. Now, for the fifth consecutive week, the New Orleans Saints will be without Hall of Fame quarterback Drew Brees. And this week, we now know that the New Orleans Saints will be without Alvin Kamara and Jared Cook. So a lot of people in the Who Dat Nation are really concerned about this game, especially since we know that Drew Brees is an elite quarterback, and we know that Alvin Kamara is an elite running back, and Jared Cook has been an all-pro tight end. So you take those three out. What are the New Orleans Saints going to do in this game? Well, this game right here is going to be a tough one for the black and gold. I mean, we've been watching this week after week. We watched the black and gold win in all different type of ways, rather it be their offense having the explosion with Teddy Bridgewater throwing for 4 touchdowns, rather it be their defense making stops and getting sacks on the opposing quarterback. So how are the New Orleans Saints going to win this game this time? I don't think this is as confusing as a lot of people may think. The New Orleans Saints have what a lot of teams in the National Football League don't have, and that is a deep roster. And these guys have been playing with one another for a very long time. Of course, you added on some new guys like running back Latavius Murray. You also have the all-pro wide receiver in Michael Thomas, and you have the offensive line. And now you added on a newcomer, the running back Zach Zenner, the guy that was signed by the Detroit Lions. Coach Joe Lombardi knows pretty well. He played with him up in Detroit. He's a 5'11", 221-pound running back out of South Dakota State. And he's a guy that can pass catch out of the backfield. He's a guy that knows how to run protect. And he's a guy that he's not going to wow you or anything like that with his elusiveness, but he can get downhill really, really fast. So the Saints thought that he would be a very good addition to the team. And I watched him a couple games, so I have to say that he is a guy that will fit with the New Orleans Saints really, really well. But the question on everyone's mind is, who is going to win this football game? And in my opinion, I think that the New Orleans Saints still can win this football game because, number one, I don't believe in Mitchell Trubisky. This is a guy who has been in the league for about 3 years, and he still hasn't shown us that he can actually put a team on his back. So I feel like if the New Orleans Saints continue to do what they've been doing for the past couple of weeks, which is controlling the time of possession and also playing good defense, I think they can get out of here with a victory. The Chicago Bears, they too had to deal with some season-ending injuries, and it comes to their defensive tackle, former New Orleans Saint Akeem Hicks. And there's so many other guys like Jake Long, who is their all-pro offensive tackle. He's done. So they're dealing with injuries as well. Mitchell Trubisky is on his way back. A lot of people are saying that they didn't know if he was going to play in this game, but I believe that they're going to go ahead and let him play. Matt Nagy know what this game means when it comes to positioning in the playoffs. And you look at the NFC North, this is probably one of the best divisions in football right now. So I think the New Orleans Saints can win this football game. It all going to have to come down to Teddy Bridgewater, making sure that he does not make those type of mistakes, making sure that he is more accurate than he was against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he has to make sure that he controls the time of possession. The Saints are going to have to run the football. And Latavius Murray is going to have to hold on to that football and get those tough yards on those very athletic and very talented linebackers of the Chicago Bears. Khalil Mack, I mean, we all know what the Mack attack can do. This guy can cause problems all throughout the game. But I think the Saints offensive line can kind of, hold them at bay. I mean, we watched this over the last couple of weeks. The Saints have went up against some of the top pass rushers in all of the National Football League, and they're able to kind of calm those guys down. I have no doubt that the Saints will be able to do the same thing to the Chicago Bears. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. Soldier Field, it is very historic, and they're known for having a very passionate and loud fan base out there in Chicago. So the New Orleans Saints are going to have a huge test. but I think that the Saints will get the job done, and I think they're going to get it done by a score of 23-20. But I would like to hear from you. What do you think about the Saints Chicago Bears Week 7 matchup? Comment down below, like and share this video. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.com, and be sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Till next time, all I gotta say is, who dat?